All right. Well, what a day. October 2nd. So after this video, I'm going to do just a fun one on sports since I've got a sports YouTube channel. Just kind of kick off college football. I like to show people kind of another side of me. Just because it's like, well, what kind of guy is he? This guy that does all this, this stuff that he does. And it's just like, I'm just a normal person. Been in college. Been a high school football coach. Quite a few times over. 3 different schools, head coach, assistant coach at one school, and assistant at 2 other larger schools. And I always liked my sports. I was really big into movies, and I still am. And I guess the Lord always made me that way because he knew that that's how he would show me clues about the world around us. So, but I'm just really coming across a lot of stuff with this QAnon cult. And that's what this whole Trump situation, it's pretty deep. It's pretty bad. The Lord just allows me to see it. And I hope I'm able to convey it in a way that where my thoughts also resonate with those who it's meant to. And of course, if it's meant to be, it will. So that's how that works. Everything is meant to be. And nothing is random. So anyway, let's continue on. Well, I'm sorry. Let's finish Daniel. We are finishing Daniel tonight. And as we begin Revelation starting tomorrow, I will begin a playlist. Which YouTube am I in right now? I am in Switch account, T. Stokes Daily Bible Studies, holding steady at 23 subs. A lot of people have came on to comment, and it's really nice because I did make the comment the other day. Not a lot of folks are viewing, and then I realized the one that's got the few views was Sunday, right? Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday. Sunday's got 5 views. Saturday's got 8. Does that mean I need to stop doing them on the weekends? See, because I read the Bible daily. So in order to stay in sync, I'm just going to do them daily. But here's what I would suggest. Because I got a ton of stuff to do on Saturday. I'm a football freak. I make Trump videos or whatever, Antichrist videos or, artificial intelligence video, whatever I'm into that day. I'm into. Saturday's my day. Sunday's my day. You all probably feel the same, and that would be your least day, because no coincidence, those are my fewest days. And if we were to go back, let's see if there's a pattern. So Sunday, Saturday, Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday. 2020 was a Sunday. Got 27 views. And then Saturday was 30 views. Maybe people just tailed off then. And still on the weekends, it is what it is. It's the weekend. So you're going to have fewer. But when I began it on the Saturday and Sunday, it got a lot of pokes because it was new on Facebook. That's probably what it was. So I'm going to go back to, this is a better test, I think. So just weekends are not great. I get that. Just try to go back and watch the one before you watch, just try to double up is all I can suggest if the Lord moves you to do it. Finishing up, and I heard, but I understood not. And then I said, oh my Lord, what shall the end of these things? What shall be, thank you. What shall be the end of these things? And he said, go thy way, Daniel, for the words are closed up and sealed till the time of the end. doesn't it give you the idea that this entire book is about the end times? Every single bit of Daniel. You know, of course, Nebuchadnezzar being an aberration, but all these things that we were struggling to understand. Many shall be purified and made white. Well, that comes the time when they're all in this to get her. The Trump QAnon cult makes it seem like to get her is to get Hillary. That's what I came across today, that she's going to be locked up. And if they do stage all of that and then they kill Trump because of it, because the Antichrist, you know, has to receive the deadly wound. So that's how he gets the deadly wound, because he was Batman fighting crime. Just like in The Dark Knight Rises, you know, Bruce Wayne, the billionaire from Gotham, New York City, whatever. Trump, billionaire, New York, you get the idea. Fighting crime. And he's removed. He's thrown into the pit. He has to climb out of the pit. The Dark Knight rises out of, what is the Antichrist? He rises out of the pit. Trump looked at the camera, remember, and said, I am Batman, from his own YouTube site. I've shown you all that many times. So why am I talking about this? I don't know. Oh, many shall be purified and made white, the bride of Christ. Yeah, because Trump had tweeted in all capital letters together, which is to get her. And it's not Hillary, it's the bride of Christ. But they're trying to make you think it's Hillary. But if they do pull all that off, you're going to see this country get into quite an uproar. And then if Trump then gets killed, you're going to see the other side uproar more. And the people that run this world will send both of their people out into the streets, because this is all planned out by the people that run the world. And it is a gigantic connected world. I mean, they run military, media, sports media, even all sports, all television, all music, all churches. They run it all. And they're going to send everyone out in the streets and then exacerbate it through the media on both sides, blaming the other to stoke the fires. And that's probably when the internet will go down and somebody like me will just disappear. Unless they make me disappear during this great roundup, like Hillary gets arrested and somebody like myself would be framed. I've always thought about that, but or do they just come get me when they shut everything off? So either or, doesn't matter, because whatever happens, the Lord ordained at the foundation of the world. Now, why would I tell you that? If I'm the only person that's given the truth about Trump and free will and hell is not eternal torment, and Jesus didn't mean a water baptism, because Jesus came to baptize with the Holy Spirit and fire, just like John the Baptist said, which I'm sure we'll get into. I think that's mentioned in Luke, one of the Gospels. Then the Lord picked me out to be that person. Because, like I said the other day, I don't see that on any other YouTube site. No other YouTube site says free will is Catholic. There is no such thing as free will. Like God's ordained the end from the beginning. He knew his sheep at the foundation of the world. He explains the fairness of it in Romans 9:11-24. Trump's the Antichrist. He's about to receive the deadly wound at some point. Nobody is saying all of that. If he chose me for that knowledge to share, you know, feed the sheep. Remember that passage? I think it was Peter. Peter, do you love me? Then feed my sheep. Feed the sheep Bible verse.
According to Pinterest, John chapter 21 verses 15 to 17. If you love me, feed my sheep.
Feed the sheep. If he chose me to feed the sheep, don't you know that I'm going to probably have a pretty horrible death? That's what all the apostles were murdered. All of those from the Protestant Reformation. Think about what an amazing person that God had to put it in Martin Luther's heart to do what he did to the Catholic Church, to declare war on the Catholic Church. All of those people from the Protestant Reformation were murdered. How did Martin Luther die?
According to biography, Luther died following a stroke on February 18, 1546, at the age of 62 during a trip to his hometown of Eilben.
Well, if he wasn't poisoned, so many of them were. Those killed during the Protestant Reformation.
According to biography, Luther died following a stroke on February 18, 1546, at the age of 62 during a trip to his hometown of Eilben. He was buried in All Saints Church in Wittenberg, the city he had helped turn into an intellectual center.
That's funny. I worked at All Saints Academy, was head football coach there, and later an assistant coach there. It's just giving me Martin Luther. But many from the Protestant Reformation were burned at the stake. It was brutal deaths. I thought Martin Luther was one of them, sorry. But bad times are coming for all the sheep, but I think sooner for somebody like myself, because I think I am definitely pinpointed. Maybe not, but we'll see. But you see this, many shall be purified and made white and tried, but the wicked shall do wickedly, and none of the wicked shall understand, but the wise shall understand. There's no free will. They're handed over to it. The wicked people that are going to persecute the church, that's their job. Because God doesn't get his glory until the church is dying for him. And many that won't really sort of wake up until the very end times, because that's when the Lord wakes them up. I think it's, again, at the strong delusion, for God will send them a strong delusion that they will believe a lie. That's all goats. And by proxy, all sheep won't be fooled. Well, I think some of those will be waking up for the first time. And we just read in yesterday's Bible study, or the day before's, right here at the end of Daniel, about how terrible, I think it was 2 days ago, I think it was at the end of Daniel 11, but it could have been yesterday's, how terrible it's going to be in the end, how the wise are going to be jailed, whatever, it's going to be bad. This isn't all this Christian world out there. They're all fake Christians. It's the chosen few of the narrow way. Now, some of these who believe the same as the fake Christians, like free will and Trump is a good guy, they're going to be awakened. But certainly not all of them. It's a narrow way and few find it. So, but there's going to be some purging times. The wicked, it's all the goat world, it's their job to be wicked. They don't have a choice in the matter. That's why Jesus said, forgive, they don't know what they're doing. They were handed over to do that. It was their job to crucify Jesus. Their job. They would not fail at their job. What do you think, Jesus? If there was free will, don't you think Jesus might have been walking around for years going, these people won't kill me. I need to be killed. Will somebody please kill me? Everything is set. Everything. The exact moment you die, the exact way that you die is set. And if wicked, horrible people are doing it, they were handed over to that. The pre-trib, fake pre-trib, false rapture people, pre-trib rapture, that false teaching. God wouldn't beat up his bride. Or I just want to take my fingers and stick them down my throat and throw up all over whatever speaker I hear that from. Phone speaker, computer speaker. I just want to barf on that. There's nothing that makes me sicker than when I hear that. God wouldn't beat his bride, but he crucified himself and killed all of his apostles and martyred I don't know how many after the Protestant Reformation. How many Christians were thrown to the lions in Rome? God wouldn't beat up his church. God wouldn't beat his wife. God wouldn't beat up his wife. Anyway. And from the time of that daily sacrifice shall be taken away. How many times have we read that in Daniel? I don't know. Let's find out. Really good. Sorry, I got stuff all over my elbows and fingers and everything's slipping and sliding. Okay. 310 results. Oh, I even spelled it wrong after all that. Y'all know me on Fridays. Caffeinated 3 times today. Been to Orlando and back grocery shopping after working football Friday. And now we're going to boogie on over. Where's all of them? Where are all of them at? I want to go to the list because I just want to look at Daniel. Is this really going to take that long? Let me pause so I can find it for you. By the way, will y'all holler at me next time that there was a way to filter that? Thank you. I would really appreciate that. I guess I hit the wrong button. Just hit that and see if they don't just pop up. The daily sacrifice, 8:11. The daily sacrifice, 8:12. The daily sacrifice, 8:13. Cause the sacrifice and oblation to cease, 9:27. Shall take away the daily sacrifice, Daniel 11:31. And from that time that the daily sacrifice and what we just read, 12:11. So 3 different sections. 3 of them were in the same spot. So Daniel 8:11 through 13, Daniel 9, Daniel 11, Daniel 12. Sorry, 4 different spots. Do you know what that is? The daily sacrifice day, what they call the abomination that causes desolation? My brain is malfunctioning right now. Proverbs. Was not going to look it up because I know what it is. being stubborn, wasting y'all's time. The Lord hath made all things for himself. Remember, this is God's plan, every bit of it. Yea, even the wicked for the day of evil. The day of evil is when? The abomination that causes desolation. The day of evil. What's the day of evil? The day the daily sacrifice causes the daily, because he's going to stop those sacrifices. And he's going to sit up there in that temple where the Jewish sacrifices were taken. And so many people will go, oh my God, the temple is the human body. Don't you know that your body's a temple? A sheep talking to sheep. A sheep's body is also a temple. The Antichrist can't sit up in a sheep's body. Drives me crazy. I think I'd almost rather hear somebody go, God wouldn't beat his wife. Sorry. I'm punchy. I'm being silly because I'm exhausted. Let's finish up, Daniel. I hate to see it go. It's my favorite book. Now, see, here's another one of those hundreds. And from the time of the day, remember when I told y'all the other day, I wish one of y'all would just do a deep study on all these different days. And from the time that the daily sacrifice shall be taken away, and the abomination that maketh desolate set up. See, it all works together. When the sacrifices cease, that's when Antichrist will set up that artificial intelligent situation. Computer, a cube, I don't know what it'll be. An android type person, I don't know what it'll be. But it'll be an image that speaks. That'll be Satan in the machine. And it will be Satan possessed inside the human Antichrist. And I believe it will be Satan uploaded. The same way the mark of the beast, that everybody will be uploading demonic entities into their body. Your body will become an avatar. That's why they get torment day and night forever and ever. The only places that have torment day and night forever and ever are what? Those that take the mark and the beast and false prophet and Satan. It's the only place in the Bible that says torment. That's because it's Satan and the fallen angels receive torment day and night forever and ever. Humans? Gee, I don't know. The wages of sin is death. Don't fear him which can destroy the body, but not the soul, but fear him, Jesus, which can destroy both body and soul in hell. And Satan doesn't get hell. I've shown you all that. He goes to the lake of fire because hell is the grave, and death and hell are thrown into the lake of fire. It's called the second death. There are dead upon entry, like the cremation process we have today. Anyway, 1,290 days. And from the time of the daily sacrifices shall be taken away, and the abomination that maketh desolate set up, there shall be from the time what? From the time that the daily sacrifice shall be taken away. So let's begin the clock. Clock begins on the daily sacrifices. And from the time that the daily sacrifice shall be taken away, and the abomination that maketh desolate set up, there shall be 1,290 days. Oh. What? Blessed is he that waiteth and cometh to the 1,300. Here's another set of numbers in 35 days. This is over my head, folks. But go thy way till the end be, for thou shalt rest and stand in thy lot at the end of days. He's going to rest. He's going to be asleep. It's not to be absent from the body is to be present with the Lord. Paul said, willing rather to be absent from the body and be present with the Lord. Just like the Bible verse says, we shall not all sleep, but we shall be changed in a twinkling of an eye. The dead in Christ will rise first. You're asleep. He just told Daniel, you'll be at rest. Rest, Daniel, rest. Don't you remember the beginning of Daniel? Don't you remember? Please tell me you remember. And many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake, some to everlasting life, sheep, and some to shame and everlasting contempt, goats. Torment? Or is the judgment just everlasting? Yes, the judgment is everlasting. There's not a million years where grandma wakes up or your mom comes back and you're like, oh, my mom, I saw her standing naked on Judgment Day and I was crying. Remember, God wipes away all our tears. Remember that? See, the fake Christian world, somehow they all figure out a way to where everybody in their family's saved. Well, I remember my grandpa, back when I was 12, he said he believed in Jesus, even though he beat grandma till the day that he died and smoked and drank. But, he said he believed, and that's all John 3:6. That's all it takes. Just got to believe once. No, it's crazy. The more you realize, the more truth you realize, the more you look at the rest of the world and just go like, I can't believe the train wreck that is this earth. And most everybody I've ever known. We're in Luke. Guess what we're going to get into? This Bible verse. These Bible verses always pop in my head, and tonight I literally have to sit here and think about it because my brain is fried. If any man come to me and hate not his father, his mother, his wife, his children, his brethren and sisters, yea, even his own life, cannot be my disciple. Is that an emotional hatred? No. But you got to hate on them. If your mom and dad are celebrating the Christ Mass and you refuse, you're hating on them. They'll probably return the favor. It's their job to hate you if they're a goat and you're a sheep. My son doesn't celebrate Christmas, or my daughter doesn't celebrate Christmas with me. And they just grumble. They hate it. Your wife? What if the Lord called you after you were married? You going to let your spouse drag in that pagan tree into the house? What about your children? Tell them the truth and stick by it. God doesn't love everybody. Because your children they don't want to hear that. They want to hear everybody in the families in there. How sweet Granny or great granny or Aunt so and so they were just so sweet. I know it's weird. Your friends. You got to hate your own life too, because when you come out of Christmas and the rest of the family hates you for it, your life's not going to be so great. Friends, family. You got to hate your own life, man. You got to hate it. You think I'm perfect at that? Nope. Lord's got some purging still to do out of me, and it's coming. It's coming. Did we finish, Daniel? But go thy way till the end. Oh, there's something we need to look into. For thou shalt rest and stand in thy lot. So let's look and see what that was. I want to see how that read in the New Living Translation. From the time of the daily sacrifices stop and the sacrilegious object that causes desecration is set up to be worshipped, there will be 1,290 days. And blessed are those who wait and remain until the end of the 1335 days. Mind-blowing. As for you, go your way till the end. You will rest. And then at the end of days, you will rise again, Teresa. They got it right in both versions. People are like, oh, to be absent from the body is to be present with the Lord. That's what my preacher said. Oh, God. Well, when I read that in the King James, because it says, and from the time that the daily sacrifice shall be taken away, and the abomination that maketh desolate set up. See the and? It made me think the daily sacrifice is taken away, and then 1,290 or 1,290 days, the abomination that make it desolate will be set up. So has the daily sacrifices already stopped with the underground temple that people talk about? The building of the third temple in Israel. Trump's on the temple coin. No pictures. I mean, let's face it, we all hate the, Wikipedia. We love to hate on it, but a lot of it's true. We saw Mike Pompeo overlooking the architectural renderings of the coming third temple, laying the groundwork for a third temple. The times of Israel. Folks, that's in 2013. The third temple is already built underground. Update on building of the third temple. Doesn't give me a date. And from the time that the daily sacrifice shall be taken away, and the abomination that maketh desolate set up, combined, there shall be 2,290 days. Till what? That's what I was getting at in the first place. Till Jesus returns? Jesus returns after 1,290 days. You'll see how difficult this is. 7-year tribulation until the rule of Christ. 1,290 days. What is it? 1,260 days. See, this is pre-wrath tribulation timeline. Pre-wrath is not pre-trib. That's pre-God's wrath, which is the truth. Remember, God removes us. Throughout Revelation, you have the Antichrist. Throughout Revelation, he seals or removes his church. And throughout Revelation, after each, you then have God's wrath. During the latter 3.5 years Antichrist reigns, Christians face intense persecution. Rapture, along with Christ's appearance in the clouds. Following rapture is God's wrath. Yes. Then it says 7 years, 30 days, 45 days. Christ returned to Jerusalem, take reign from Antichrist, Battle of Armageddon. Antichrist, false prophet thrown into the... And remember, the Battle of Armageddon's Judgment Day. That's the part people don't know. You won't get that. You're not going to get that from anybody but me. I'm telling you, I've never, ever, ever, and that's in my Hell Is Not Eternal Torment video. Is it me, if I'm right? Or is it the Holy Spirit? It's the Holy Spirit. And if the Holy Spirit gave that truth to me, and every single person that understands the whole no free will policy, that there's no Hell Is Not Eternal Torment revised. I redid that. Hell Is Not Eternal. That's 45 minutes, and there's 4 minutes and 4 minutes of two things that I left off. The middle one, I ended up realizing I didn't leave it off, but I left it there anyway because I really expounded upon something. And then 4 more minutes of something I literally did leave off. It's on my playlist. Watch it. Got 135 views. That's all that thing's got. But a lot of people had already seen the previous Hell Is Not Eternal Torment that I read. Again, this is revised. But I got 465 subscribers. I want all of them to watch that. A lot of them are here just for the Trump Antichrist stuff, though. We finished, Daniel. I'm sorry to make it go on so long. Okay. At least we figured out what I had trouble. Something caught my eye, you know. That's my fault. We'll let that go. Let's get on with Luke, and we'll do it quicker, I promise. Yea, a sword shall pierce through thy own soul also, that thoughts of many hearts may be revealed. And there was one Anna, a prophetess, the daughter of Phanuel, of the tribe of Asher. She was of great age and had lived with a husband 7 years from her virginity. And she was also a widow about 84 years. So 84 years, which departed not from the temple, but served God with fasting and prayers night and day. Now, somebody like that, not only are they spoken of in the Bible, but that's how they live their life. These are people who are greatest in the kingdom. I could assure you, I am the least in the kingdom. There's not enough suffering taking place in my life, even though I've got a feeling I got a bad day coming, different from just regular folks or regular sheep, but we'll see. But somebody like that, wow, right? And she coming in, like, she didn't watch football or movies like I do, or eat food like I do. I might have got off gluten and sugar, but I still enjoy myself when I eat. You think this lady did? Nah. And she coming in that instant gave thanks likewise unto the Lord, and spake of him to all that looked for redemption in Jerusalem. And when they had performed all things according to the law of the Lord, remember, this was the 2 turtle doves, the circumcision, then they're going to go to John the Baptist for the dipping. They returned to Galilee, to their own city, Nazareth. And the child grew and waxed strong in spirit, filled with wisdom, and the grace of God was upon him. Now his parents went to Jerusalem every year at the feast of Passover. And when he was 12 years old, they went up to Jerusalem after the custom of the feast. And when they had fulfilled the days, they returned, and the child Jesus tarried behind them in Jerusalem, and Joseph and his mother knew not of it. So this was Jesus we were talking about, not John the Baptist. We had already talked about John the Baptist, and we will get back to John the Baptist. And Joseph and his mother knew not of it, but they, supposing him to have been in the company, went a day's journey, and they sought him among their kinfolk and acquaintance. This is when his mom and dad get on to him for doing what he did. And Jesus, if I'm not mistaken, said something along the lines of, "Don't y'all know I've got to do my Father's work?" So remember, this is God inside of a human avatar body. So, because Jesus was God. Jesus is God. All right. Anyway, love y'all very much. This is so long. I'll probably put this on my regular YouTube channel also. All right. Love y'all.